Everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Movie Cranks. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different review for you because we just saw Tenet.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones too. Use it carefully.
A mind-blowing, I guess you could say, movie that I'm still trying to figure out myself. So we're going to read the synopsis for you. We're going to kind of give you a little ideas of what we thought each. And then we're going to kind of jump into some of the technical aspects about it.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I'm really going to review this movie right now. Give it a score. I just want to talk about it, let you know kind of what we thought, and then make up a decision for yourself if you want to go see it. I know one thing, you definitely need to see it twice.
Multiple times.
Yes.
This is the big July summer tentpole movie that we've now received near September.
The movie that saves us from COVID.
Yes. And it definitely could help the movie theaters. I think people are going to have to see it multiple times. It's one of those thinking movies that's really out there.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been thinking about it all day. I've been literally piecing questions together all day, and I just keep on coming up with more questions because it does not hold your hand whatsoever.
No.
Do not go into this movie inebriated or not functioning at your full level, because you need all your brain capacity.
The faculties need to be
especially
there.
if your IQ isn't the highest like mine. You're going to need all your faculties to understand this.
He's dumb as bricks. He's so stupid.
Now, we had a few people walk out.
There was, yes.
There was some older gentleman, older lady that had not handled it well.
Don't think this is going to go over so well with
certain
the elderly
people. Yeah, the people that have trouble following complex movies. This movie was very complex. This is a Christopher Nolan specialty movie.
Yes.
And by that I mean loud, powerful music.
You know, I mean, what'd you think about some of the acting, though? I mean, I thought the acting was good.
Excellent.
You know, I thought John David Washington did an excellent job.
Fantastic.
He was my favorite character in the movie, which makes sense because he is the main character of the movie.
Yeah.
You have Robert Pattison, who I was a little iffy about going in, and there is a few things I had with his character.
Yeah.
Debicki, I didn't really care for. Michael Caine's in the movie for like 30 seconds.
You trusted me. And I failed you.
There's a few people that it's mainly centered around the two of them. I mean, they're like kind of like Mission Impossible agents going out there to stop the end of the world.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I don't know if I really know how to explain this movie. What I made out of it personally was you have a world going forward, a world going backwards. Right there, they
meet
the two different, I guess, realms or realities.
Yeah.
They interconnect, and I actually liked that part. The beginning part, a little hard for me.
They did a setup to where you see the action scenes that are in the trailer. You're launched into this crazy big terrorist battle in this crowded music auditorium place, and it was a gas-related attack, that sort of thing, and the action was incredible. They start off the movie so well.
Yeah, I thought the beginning was really good.
Yes.
Unfortunately, once they go from there, and it goes to John David Washington's character, the protagonist, being out in the field, things happen. Not going to spoil it. Then they just throw him right into Tenet. And next thing you know, he's leading this whole group of people to try to end World War III.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how? What?
That's where it starts not making sense, because the way they had him, he delivered so well. He had the gritty, like, no-nonsense secret agent in him. Like a Tom Cruise, only a tough, badass version that doesn't make jokes, that doesn't have fun. He is out to do one thing, the mission.
Yep.
And that was fantastic.
And the best way I can really describe this movie is James Bond meets Inception
Yes.
inject it with steroids, and sprinkle a little cocaine on top because it's out there.
Cocaine. Glorious cocaine.
There's some complaints about the music. I thought it was extremely overpowering.
Yes, I walked out with a little bit of a headache.
Yes, so did I. The whole evening I had that, and a lot of people we saw on the reviews had that problem too. If you don't like extremely loud music, don't go to the IMAX. Try to go to the smaller theaters that's not going to blow your brain out.
And that's not the only problem I had with the music. Another problem I had with the music was literally
the tones.
It was so overpowering,
yes.
But there's dialogue going on throughout the music, and I'm going, I can't understand what they're saying. I'm losing track of the movie.
Yeah, because they'll be running and saying stuff as they're running while the music is hammering. Yeah. I'm talking just bam, bam.
Nolan horn.
And I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on because you're lost. That you spend most of this movie, and I know he does it on purpose. You spend most of this movie like you're in Memento or something. Like you're just trying to piece together little threads.
To me, I was watching it. I was taking it in, but I was not getting any of the story. Yeah, nothing was actually registering. I was just watching it.
And you'll know what we mean if you see this. You're going to have to watch it once because they don't hold your hand. You watch it all the way through. And then towards the end, the very end, it starts coming together. And it makes more and more sense at the very end. But that doesn't help the rest of the 2 hours that didn't make any sense whatsoever for the most part.
I think at the middle part of this movie, when things kind of reverse, switch, realities and things like that change, that's when I started kind of going, okay, I'm liking it. I'm understanding this part of the movie. Now we're getting things.
The third
things
act
are interconnecting.
Took you back.
Yeah, and that's when I really liked it. And I'm going to say I really enjoyed the stuff that happened within the airport, even though I really still don't understand why it happened.
Yes.
I enjoyed what happened there. I enjoyed the action.
It was all a distraction. It was a diversion.
Yeah, I mean, that's part that I really enjoy because you don't have to think to understand that.
Right.
You know, there's nothing thoughtful about some action, some shooting. You just enjoy it, and that's the most understanding point of the movie.
Yeah.
That's when things started coming together for me, and I started going, oh, I see what they're doing.
And there's a lot of people that have said, well, it's like Inception. I said Conception. It's like Inception in certain ways. And yes, the tone, the music, all of that. And the characters, the really amazing characters that he's got. But the thing is, the one thing I will fault this movie on, there's very little character development. In these Christopher Nolan movies, everyone can have their own opinion. And that's what's really cool, is you talk about it. You have me and you discussing it. You have like Inception, the end with the top that was spinning. Is he really there? Is it all fake? Is he in a dream? You don't know. And that's what's cool about this. Until you get all these people discussing it, and we're not going to go into the details and the how did this happen and blah, blah. We'll leave that to the experts with the hour-long videos on how Michael Caine
guys with 200 IQs, unlike
was eating, and all that. But really neat ideas, really cool action scenes. What I was saying with the characters, though, you don't really get to know any of these people.
There's no backstory.
There's no backstory. You don't learn anything about them. I don't even know if John David Washington eats.
Well, here's where I feel like maybe they're going to go with this, because I do feel the way they ended it, there's a possible sequel. And I think the way it ends, it changes this whole movie to the point where you think, okay, you could actually go do a sequel, which would be a prequel, and you could actually give us an origin story and explain a few things at the same time, which would be really neat, I think.
But you know what? He doesn't very often do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking... I hope he does. I think a lot of people...
I would rather have an Inception, too.
Because I actually did watch a few videos on us today trying to piece some things together, and I think a lot of people would like to see that.
Yeah. If you had a chance to get a sequel to a Christopher Nolan movie, what would it be?
Probably Inception.
Audience?
That's my personal opinion. Or this one. You know, because either one.
And then I do want to also add in, because it's important, is the effects. When they start doing the time bending and all that's happening, what's cool is they don't always tell you, like show you, oh, I'm pushing a switch, boop, and then time is switching. No, it's happening when you least expect it, someone will just go in reverse, and it's like, whoa! It's very crazy to watch in combat.
And I think that's why I like that second half.
Yes.
The way I did and where I did start understanding it. I like the mask because really, if you're going back the way I'm understanding it, you couldn't really breathe the air because the air is going in reverse. It's literally getting drawn
Everything
out of
is
the lungs.
Inertia, gravity, all this stuff is working backwards.
Reverse,
and
yeah.
it's like,
and
it
I thought that
affects
looked
everything.
cool when he first comes out and that you see the wind going backwards, birds flying backwards, people walking backwards, and then he tries to drive and he's just like,
It's very difficult.
I did notice he got in a car later and he didn't seem to have that issue anymore.
Well, I bet once it's like feeling it, like riding a bike. Once you feel it, then you're okay. And I think that they handled that real well because he had trouble when he started doing things like in altering time. He wasn't just magic at it; he was having trouble.
And that's one thing from the trailer. I think a lot of us really thought going in, it was almost like they were going to be magic. Like they could literally, they could look at this object and go, "I'm going to reverse this time," and bring it to them.
Right.
But it's not that.
I thought they might have been super powered, like those guys, just like John David Washington. I thought he was going to have superpowers, like or something,
almost like Marvel.
But it turns out it's more than just him. It's a lot of people, and
it's pretty much
a whole conspiracy.
Yeah, anybody who has contact with what you will find in the middle of this movie has the ability to change things.
If you're going into this expecting a kind of like a Marvel movie with heroes and bad guys and superpowers, you need to turn that shit off immediately.
You should have known. I should have known to begin with. I mean, it's a Nolan movie.
I went in expecting a level of craziness like Inception, but it went beyond that.
Yeah. It sprinkled it with some cocaine, like I said.
Yes. It was powerful.
It was.
I didn't like everything about it.
Yeah.
Some of the middle of the movie was real soft. It didn't have a lot of parts didn't have any action. It was just kind of just people talking about their plans. And I know that's important to set all this stuff up, but it was dragging sometimes. It was a long movie.
Yeah. The biggest problem I really had is
characters too.
More than even that was the way they're talking. There's a lot of somewhat almost mumbling, fast talking, big words you're not going to understand unless you look them up in a dictionary. And you're going to be like, oh, wait. And then you got that horn over. You're like, no! I'm trying to understand this. Stop it,
The
Nolan!
Inception horn just is.
I said that earlier. That was really my biggest problem with the movie right there. Because I just wish there was some of that dialogue I caught. I think I only caught maybe 50% of this dialogue. And that's why I said you got to go back, watch it again. Which in a way, that's kind of a brilliant thing. Making a time travel movie where you actually got to go back in time, watch it again to understand it.
You know what's funny? You've got who's the guy that did Star Wars recently, or Star Trek recently? J.J.
Abrams.
You got J.J. Abrams with his lens flares.
Yes, this is not J.J. Abrams.
This is like the lens flares, except in sound form.
Yeah.
Give me
I will give you
the best early review.
I will give you a technical score.
Yes.
I will not give you a score on the story or everything that builds because I just don't comprehend it all yet. Technically, I would give it a B+. I think the music was just a little too loud. Acting's good. There is a couple characters in there that I was okay with, but they weren't the greatest. But I'd technically give it a B+. What about you?
In the realm of visuals and audio and all that kind of stuff, he's amazing. I mean, this guy can pull things off. I mean, Robert Pattison, I thought he was kind of funny and he was more of a character in the movie because he had a personality. I felt like I knew him better than Washington.
Yeah, he had a little bit of charisma-wise.
Everybody else was kind of just secondaries, except for the woman, Elizabeth. But this is a very hard one, and this is a very tough one to score. What's a deal breaker for me, what didn't push it into the high B's and A's range, was the characters. I have to have good characters to form a good score. So I'm going to have to give this a solid B-. Some theaters have said they wish they had subtitles.
That would have been nice, actually.
I would have probably turned those on.
You know, maybe when I rent it or buy it, I'll rent
this is
subtitles
definitely a
on and watch
must own. This is one you have to own.
Yeah, like I said, I'm seeing it again this week. and I'm gonna probably buy it.
Yep.
Watch it 10 times and try to piece it together. You know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna buy it
And play it in reverse.
I'm gonna edit it up in reverse because I don't want to listen to it in reverse. I just edit in reverse.
Right.
Maybe I'll understand what happened.
I doubt it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Also, remember to subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, all that good stuff, because we need the help always. We're at the 1,200 mark.
Yep.
We need to get up to 10,000.
This weekend we got Mulan. Then we're gonna have Greenland soon.
Yeah,
and
Greenland.
a few other ones. Greenland, I saw it on this big grand screen, and I'm like, oh, this actually looks kind of good.
When there's an explosion and it's as big as a wall and it's just incredible. I cannot wait to see Greenland.
I want to see Greenland.
I'm sorry, I'm a 2020 fan. I know I love John Cusack in that movie, and I think
You mean
it's like,
2012?
Yeah, 2012.
2012. It was not made this year. I'm like, what are you talking about?
2012 was actually probably less worse than this year. But I hope it's just like that.
I just like the disaster movies. Day After Tomorrow.
Yes.
Armageddon.
I miss those.
I enjoy those stupid, just 90s.
Yeah.
Popcorn
It brings
flicks
everybody
sometimes.
together. All the Americans have to come together and save the world.
Anyways, guys, that's all we got. So, like you said, do us a favor, hit subscribe. But until next time, we'll see you later.
Peace.